Hello, welcome back. Last time I completed a loop back around to the start of the Lonely Pits, and now I'm starting off on another route. I can go down, but I'm not ready to yet. Hotzone! Okay, so a star key's in it for me in this room. Right, and remember there's a couple of trades over here if I'm long on prime and infernal keys and short on star keys. No, it's not. There's a infernal for primes and a star for infernals. Terra... Okay, right, so Terra seems to be used specifically to get out of temporary locked-in situations, and Sky, which is here, seems to be used to end the game. So that's what keys appear to be basically for. Yeah, Infernal is Court of Progress, Prime... I don't know, anyway. So, Hotzone. This is the end of the road. It's not the end of the road here. Okay, so I want to get there and... Ooh, look at that little conundrum. So I want to pack a few push blocks in here, clearly. 3, here, here, and here. That sacrifice opens those, that sacrifice opens those, and closes. Okay, we're going to be opening and closing, and stacking, and doing all sorts of wild stuff. So 2 separate stackers. And I only get one... I only get one. Well, there's also this. Okay, let's start simple. Gonna put them all in a pile. Or maybe like 2 piles of equal size. How about that? Just to see how things go if I do these actions. So I'm gonna have a problem over there. I can do this first and then not really be able to help with what's happening here. Well, I mean, yeah. So that gets you, but I'm never elevating to... Okay. What? That's not helping anything. Wait, what? Okay, idea. I can burn something and I can't get that something back out, but if I burn 2 things, I could get one of them back. They'd have to be stacked. Somehow I feel like 2 and 4 is most likely what I'm going to want here. This could just be ditched, although I might want to keep it for later, so I'll put it here, I guess. This can come back with me. Why would I care? Actually... Okay, what? I think I can sort of see the future here. So you're just to get to and push off. I'm going to need to sacrifice here twice. Here once, here twice. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 sacrifices in those spots. Well, 1, 2, 3. The third will come later after I have... Okay, what would need to be true to get through all of this spot? I would need a stack of 3 here or something equivalent. Okay, stack of 3 non-monster blocks here. How are you going to do that? Well, it doesn't have to be that exactly. Stack of 2 non-monster blocks here would do. Okay, I'm cooking something up. So I think this still means... Well, okay, if I only need 3 sacrifices... How are those going to come? If I do this first... And that second, how will I do those separately? This is nothing. This is 1 exit or 1 entrance. Probably 1 exit. But I'm not sure. Oh. Whoa, this is a lot. So we'll need at least 3 live monster blocks in here for all of this to work out. Because I definitely have to walk here, push this, and get back. Therefore, these have to be open. There's no 2 ways about that. I suppose there is the possibility of closing this instead of that, so my 2 toggles could be here instead of here, but the difference is... no, I need north pushes here. Okay, yeah, so ultimately I want push block, push block, push block. With the room clear, I walk across those, get the key, hop down, go north. Okay, so working backward from there, something will have to be stacked prior to that here. If I could just arbitrarily kill any of these, and stack any of these, and put any combination of those things into this area, my preference would... Ooh, hold on a second. That right there is a pretty useful action. Ooh, you know what else? Watch this. Okay, that was very useful. So I can do this and place that wherever I wish. I can't take it out with me, but that's probably okay. Alright. So, in terms of elevation, I don't really get any. Alright, so just from here, could I sacrifice to the second altar and, oops, get that much done at least? I don't think so, no. I'm gonna need... Okay, let's just make 2 sacrifices. That is now my goal. How would you imagine making 2 sacrifices? So 1 is easy. If I do that. Can't turn a corner here, well, for a few reasons. Even if stacked... You don't live long enough. You've already met your end, and you've already met your end. That is not a sacrifice. So, I need to make a 90-degree turn. Typically that means I would need 2 push blocks to stand on here. One to walk onto, one that lets me move laterally. So I need like a push block here and here. So that I could push a stack of, I guess, 3. Oh yeah, so sacrificing here, just like doing that in general at all. The only way I can fathom involves coming in this way. Oh, I still need even more, so I need a stack of 4, and the other 2... Whoa, that's too many dead. That is already too many dead, isn't it? If I need this many sacrifices... Well, okay, so one of those can be... Okay. Let's just say I do this in isolation first. Without thinking of downstream consequences. From here, I put that... I want to put it here and then have a second one there. But is that really what I want? Perhaps it shouldn't be. But it has to be. It's the only way I can imagine. Perhaps I'm having an imagination failure. But okay, so I made one sacrifice. Monster block. It's a dangerous item. I can leave now. Okay, I'm starting to maybe see some things. If I can leave now... Aha, alright, so let's do that first before I've sacrificed somebody else and used up the trapdoors. This is very constrained. Most of the things I would want to do here are forbidden, so therefore what it's actually going to end up being will have to be relatively simple? How many of these did I want? Is this too many? Probably. Too bad. I'm going to leave, I'm going to open this door. I'm going to drop those. Shuffle these into place. Whoopsie. Just like this should be adequate. Okay. Now I make a stack of 2. Let's make it 3 since I'm not getting another entrance in here, so I might as well bring everything I have with me. What? Yes. And pretend that I can do something with it. Haha. Not great! So then it occurs to me, how many of these sacrifices do I need? Okay, now hold up. What if I did something very different? So that was clearly useless. That's not as clear to me. Okay, let's just bring 2. How's this gonna... One there, one there. Open the door. This goes here, this goes here. Go through that door. What do you think is going to happen now? Nothing. Well, let's ignore all of those things and just do this first. So I'm up here. I can push that off, yes, but no getting back. Alright, where do my resources stand? I suppose one observation to make is that I can push this into the pit, which would then free up both of those if all of these doors are open. Okay, so in terms of these blocks that are needed, Yeah, so like this. Push that north if you want, push that north if you want. That's 2 out of 3 up here, with the room potentially clear because I've already made the round trip there. So I don't need any fancy stacking here because this door will be open. The reason I was thinking I had to stack in this spot was because I thought I'd have to put on top of this, or like pack 3 into a space of 2. Well, that's still true, because if I have to make a sacrifice to elevate onto this... Wait a second. Do I have to make a sacrifice to elevate onto that? Or does all my elevation come from here? I would assume keeping the door open while I'm in here, which would mean I'd be going across the trapdoors, which might be okay if certain things were true. Oh, this is going to take a lot of experimentation. Let's see. I can't bring so many in there, actually. Well, except... I sort of can. I'm not currently clear on what's the minimum number of sacrifices. Do I want just that one there? That was the idea. But maybe I want 2? I think I want 2. Okay. Let's bring 2. Maybe it's 3 stacks of 2 that I end up wanting here. Well, that's gonna block the way in with, no, it's... yes, it is. Can I leave that for a moment? I think so. Why did I do these things? They don't seem like they make a lot of sense, but here I am. This doesn't make any sense at all. None whatsoever. How many blocks could I potentially have here? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 5. Just gonna try and walk like that and push that off to open this door. And what good would that do me? None. Wow. This is pretty serious. See, it's not... It is kind of a wide open possibility space, but it looks way more open than it actually is. The amount of openness is deceptively small, and it's hard to see what the constraints actually are. Okay, let's go block by block. I mean, this is the only one that's different from the other 6. Is it true that I must have this door open, walk here, and push this off and get back? Yes. Alternatives would involve not ever killing that, which is no good, or staying up high, which is no good, or climbing back up here, which is impossible. No, this has to be open. I walk here, I push it off, I walk back. Then after that has happened... Alright, so the room ends in one of 2 ways. Either I collect all of my... now cooked to a pink hue monster blocks into a big bridge... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Longer than it's possible to make here. So that's clearly not it. Yeah. And use this as my only source of elevation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is strictly impossible because I only have 6 that can potentially get in a row here. Okay, so great. Possibility space closes down. I don't have to consider using this as my only source of elevation. So I know for sure that I am using one of these two as a source of elevation, and it doesn't even matter which. This row is probably better because it gives me a direct north push from here, in case I have things I need to push this way, which... Okay, so that means that a sacrifice is being made to get me up high here, which means this door will be closed until I have taken my final step into elevation, which does mean I need a stack of 2 non-monster blocks right here, or a stack of 3 right here. Well, okay, so that task on its own is pretty hard, and it seems incompatible with everything else that I'm doing. Hang on. Does that necessarily follow? Because this will be up once that is down, and that is up until I've made that sacrifice to go up high. While up high on these doors, I have to cause this to become standable at elevation 1. For that to happen, the only way that's going to occur is if I knock over a stack of blocks that's in this area. Here in particular. Stack of 2 must be here and get tipped over. Stack of 2 must be here. There's no getting around that. Stack of 2 push blocks must be placed at a magenta triangle. That is a hard requirement for finishing the room. Just to double check that I'm saying something that's true. The chain of reasoning here is that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. I cannot keep this closed and make it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Okay, why is that true? This all has to resolve to true statements. Because I do have to step in here at some point. That would mean closing and then opening and then reclosing this. Once again, the step that closes it, whether I'm up there or not, is either going to have me on this side of the gate and unable to elevate, or this door closed until I'm on that side of the gate, unable to push something over that newly opened door. And there are no other sources of elevation. There's this here. Can't bridge from farther out, there's no way. Nobody to taxi me, I'm the only mover here. If this is closed, I can't close this. Not strictly true, but not true, not false in a useful way. Okay. Stack of 2 here. I'm pretty convinced that is correct. I don't think I have fully evaluated the chain of truths that leads here to make absolutely sure they're all true. So I have, only like 80% confidence in that, but that's high enough to work with for now. Alright, 80% confidence. 80% confidence that this must be true. So if that is true, that means I need a stack of 2. That's fine. A stack of 2 with push block on top. Monster block can be on the bottom because I can easily turn a monster block into a push block if it's on the bottom. Okay, so to do that in isolation, no other actions, the shortest path to that would look like this. Wait. It would? No. Wait, is the first thing I do actually... Okay, yeah, so asking what is the shortest path to that turns out to be interesting. So here I'm using the trapdoor bridge the wrong way around, it would seem. I really doubt I'm stacking up push blocks here to reuse that multiple times. That would take way too many push blocks. Anyway, so the next step here would be this, and this cannot be correct. I can have fixed it though. There's an important extra move I had to do there. Monster on bottom, lock on top. Now, I don't have the trapdoor bridge anymore, but there we go. There's that structure. I can't use it, but it's there. Okay, so it's definitely possible to create a stack of 2 non-monster push blocks. Okay, how do I do that while doing other things? What else is useful? What else do I know for sure? Both of these sacrifices must be made. Because this must be made, that means that must be made. Yes. And one of these is sacrifice. There are 3 sacrifices. Like, everything tells me there are 3 sacrifices. Oops. 3 sacrifices. %70 confidence. That might even be optimistic. Somewhere between 50 and 70. Let's call it 70. It might as well be this one that gets 2 sacrifices. This gets 1, that gets 2. Okay, right, so I want to use the trapdoor bridge in the way of pushing something up ahead of me, while something is also already here. I rearrange that something, I rearrange this something, I make a sacrifice in the process, I hold the door open and get out that way. Holding the door is very important. I'm pretty sure the fact that there are 2 of these is just for convenience. I can stack wherever I want. This is closer to the zone of action, so I'll most likely use it more. Okay. Now, how do I reason forward from what I know to something that's going to work here? I can hold the door. So I can push something here, I can then hold the door, push something here, unblock the door, and leave and do more operations out here. What arrangement would I like to create? I have never sacrificed here. I don't know how to sacrifice there. Yes, I do. Oh, I definitely do. Okay, this might... maybe some pieces will fall into place when I do things this way. Alright, so this is actually closer to where I want it. Stack of 2 will be going in. Another stack of 2 goes in the other side. And then somebody holds the door. Okay. This is sacrifice number 1. I don't quite want that. I want... oh, I can't have that. Ah, dang it. I can't have this because then that blocks that. This is not good enough, right? Why not? Sure it is. That's fine. Okay. Sacrifice number 1 made. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This goes in on its own. I don't know how that other monster gets involved, but this does go in on its own. Here we go. 2 sacrifices made. This is starting to look good. I have 1 monster left out in the cold. Literally, everybody else is in the hot zone. Somehow that 1 monster left out in the cold is going to need to do everything else that I need. So it can't be against this wall. And everything I'm doing is going against that wall, so that means it probably needs to join this stack? It can't join that stack. It needs to be preserved. Where could it go? Nowhere. What? So yeah, I can do things here. I can get all but one of these back. I still need my stack of 2. Oh, right, I still need my stack of 2. And it's way too late to make that. And I need another sacrifice. So I both have my push blocks 2 unstacked. And one of my sacrifices is out of the way. If those are my issues... I suppose it's worth mentioning that I cannot make my bridge to here and then while standing there have the room become clear. I'm pretty sure that is strictly impossible. Okay, what would need to be present for the rest of this to be solvable? Okay. Not as much as I might have thought. From this state, if I could teleport this monster block right here, push south, sacrifice is made, I go up high, I stand on the now standable monster block, go here, push these north. Okay, that's kind of close. So, with that replay saved, let's walk backward through that and see how I could have inserted this into a place that's compatible with eventually ending up here? Yeah, sounds impossible. There's probably a way it can be done. Is there potential for making this bracket the other way around? Yes. Yes, there is. I can go out horizontally before pushing vertically, which I think fixes a few things? Are you sure about that? Not yet, but I could become sure. Can I do it from here? First, put that there. Yeah, problem is I can only get this out of the way this way, so my bracket's going to be upper right, not lower left. Lower left would seem better in that it would leave a block here where I could maybe move it around, but see, this whole floor is hot. How does this one get inserted into the situation? In a way that I can actually use it for something. Right, and I need to leave that there so I can make my other sacrifice. Like, this is all very delicate. Has to be pretty much exactly like that. I don't have room for another on top of here. I mean, I could, but I'd push it off and it would burn immediately. I don't have room for another on top of here, because I have to stand on that. I could have another on top of here. Maybe that's... Yeah, but how would I get it off? I could only push it off this direction, and it would both get cornered and burn. This can't go in my head. There are no bomb bugs or statues around in the entire world, I think. Okay, so if that were currently here, could I still do all the moves that I find necessary? Let's just imagine I've teleported that monster block here already. Did I walk over it? No. Yeah, so just imagine it starts in this position. Without stepping there... Without stepping there, I can definitely put everything where it needs to go. Okay. Push, sacrifice, move, move, push, 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 collect, done. Okay. How does that monster block get there? Okay, so I guess one thing... One thing is, I did not benefit in any way from putting this in early. Right? I don't think I did, no. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did because of... No, hold on. But why? No. No. Right, that was what was jamming me up, and I can fix... Okay, so this will not fix every problem, but it will get me closer. So do this part first, before anything else. Right, I had a brief little flash of insight. How long can I hold on to it? Hold the door without putting anything else there. This goes here, then it goes there. Next I stack 3. Still don't know how the last one gets involved, but this at least makes it look more possible to get it involved. Push this in the simple way. There we go. That's simpler and easier than what I did. I'm not solved, but I can walk back out right now. And not really do anything, though. Because there's no getting that in. It can't come along, and if I... Sure, I can hold the door, but then I can't get in. Sure, I can push this out of the way, but then I can't get out. Okay. But yes, I can have the bracket the other way around. So you, where can you go? That will be... Okay, so most useful looks like it's going to be on top of this. So I'm back to 2 stacks of 3, which is what the initial room layout would vaguely suggest. So if I take that suggestion, for a moment you hold that door, this sacrifices here and goes there. These stack. Oops. And they go in like this. This ends up looking so much more straightforward than it did before. I must push this down immediately, which puts it in what looks like a pretty bad place. It's not. I can do everything from here. Just recontextualize, reposition everything. Oh, I don't have to lose a block! I get to keep everybody this way with this bracket shape. Okay, of course. So, my insistence on sacrificing on this altar was my downfall. I do not have to sacrifice on that altar because I can do... That puts me here. That's not good enough. No, I do really want to sacrifice on that altar. But I can't do that. Wait, are you sure? Are you sure? So the core of the issue I'm having is that I can't just teleport these blocks magically into place. Like, if I could have this and then be on the other side, sure, I push this here, step there, push that there, get around, push it there, but I'm not here. And I couldn't have been. Right? Yeah? This can't turn any corners here because... How early can I do this? Oh, no. No. I want this here, not here. Now I've lost my height and I'm never getting it back. I have to push it off now. I can walk out, but I can't do anything out. No turning that corner. No turning that corner. No turning any corners. I only get the other sacrifice. I can't make the stack of 2 here. Okay, so that 80% confidence was indeed wrong, by the way. Are you sure? Not yet. Is there a simpler way, somehow, that just doesn't involve as much stuff? Like, this already just does not let me through. Yeah, it's just a fundamental truth that I cannot be standing here while a block is in both of those positions. At least that's what it seems like to me. So, okay. There's one more thing to think about. Which is that. It looks... Oh. Okay, let's try it. It looks weird. Here, it'll be quicker to do it this way, actually. So, alright, this is pretty funny. Is the key that I don't sacrifice on that visit? I think that's what it actually maybe is. How plausible is this? It's hard to tell yet. But it's starting to look like something. Now... Okay, I kind of have an extra monster block now, which makes sense. It needs to go in my sacrifice pile. Okay, I need one more here. So similar to what I did, but slightly different. Stop there, but don't stop. Stack these 2. Sacrifice number 1. No! That clearly doesn't work. I say, am I sure? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay. If I do that with a stack of 3, there's no way that leads anywhere good, right? Okay, so stack of 3. Don't think too much about downstream. I'll deal with downstream when I get there. Still never getting to this altar in this pattern. Yeah, I'm never getting to that altar in that pattern. I was closer before. This is not going anywhere good. It is implausible to me that I don't make a sacrifice on this first visit. Maybe it shouldn't be, but currently it is. So there's the option of pushing left with this kind of bracket, or up with this kind of bracket. Neither leads where I want it to lead. Up is closer. It's not there, but it's closer. Is it not there? As far as I can tell, it's not. Carefully at each move here. I mean, I don't really have any alternatives if that's where I'm trying to go. Once again, I'm not getting back up here, so I can't hop down without... Well, I have to bring something to give me the means to get back up. I mean, yeah, so I haven't gone quite this far. Just a show. That's no good. Because I walked across this entire bridge and pushed you off, I cannot have maintained a stack of any sort. When I entered here... Yeah, it really had to be like that, didn't it? I just can't do anything else out here. As far as I can tell, at least. Is it solvable from here somehow? Oh, well, I guess this is why I make that extra step, just so I can maintain everything. I don't need everything, though. I have more blocks than I need. Just can't really do anything like what I want to do with any of them. But see, this is the perfect number of blocks. My problem is my inability to teleport. If I could just hop right over that and get here. Everything's done. I push it here, I'm up high, so is this block, I push it on that block, I go around, I push it here, I get the key, I leave. But there is absolutely, for 100% sure, no way to make this formation of blocks while I'm in there. So I return to desiring that this be in that position instead. That's in line with the trapdoor bridge. Could that mean something? I never have to step on that spot otherwise. I only get to bring the one. I don't get any elevation because I only get one sacrifice and it opens doors, it doesn't close them. That's closer, sort of, but it dead ends. This is farther. But it's more similar to what I would want. Right? Now hang on, I don't think I've done this exact arrangement. I just left one out here in the cold. Last time I tried this. Wait, this is not right. I needed to pre-position... Right, I had to do a lot of stuff. But yeah, there's an extra trick involved here, which makes this seem like the interesting way to go. Extra trick being, you bring that early, then jam the door open, and I'm using all my stuff now. It looks so cool. But it doesn't lead where I need it to lead. There's that sacrifice, but now I have to tip you over, and you just burn. You don't go here, that's for sure. So what was that about instead of either of those two brackets? Making a shape like a little S shape? Z shape? 2 shape? Yeah, what was that about that? So the way I've done this is no good, but it could have been better. So to look at that again... This spot. That makes a second sacrifice here. That's the issue with it. My second sacrifice needs to be here instead of here. At least that's what I assume. Is there any way that could be false? No. No. Is that the only issue with it? Hey look, that's where I want it. If there'd been a monster block here... that would not have done what I wanted, no. Like my second sacrifice has been made too early. Okay, so that makes the second sacrifice too early. I guess then the question is... could my first sacrifice be this somehow? Or wait, why does that make a second sacrifice? Why did I make the first? Right, I was thinking the secret could be that I do that without making a sacrifice. That was part of my, my ploy. That's where I want it. This isn't and can never be. Could this bracket have been that way around? No. 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 Certainly wouldn't have gotten this where I want it. Okay, well, Hotzone sure does not get me where I want to be. So this was the closest I had, right? This was the closest I had. Well, it's not. I stacked one more on here and brought it to that spot, but it's impossible to get everything where it needs to go from there. Now, I don't know what other state I can create. Like, those are the best I seem to be able to do. Alright, well, gonna have to come back to this one later. Alright, I did a lot of work here, just didn't quite get all the way to the end. I can also go down. Maybe next time I'll try that and see what's done there.